So I'm going to show you something that I have found that is really, really helpful for moving grief, despair, discouragement, just a lot of the heavier emotions that tend to be held kind of through the chest area. Heart and lungs is the areas that tend to hold those. And I will put up a picture while I'm describing the first one just because I can't show you my feet very easily. So you take on the bottom of your foot, you have a spot where the balls of the feet come together and kind of make this upside down V. And that spot where that meets up, there's like a little bit of an indentation, especially if you curl your toes just a little bit, you'll feel that indentation kind of happen. And that is the spot that you want to press or massage, or you could tap it, whatever feels the best to you. And you might notice that it feels tender. And if it does, you need this spot to be massaged, loved on, like pressed, whatever, gently. I mean, make sure it's comfortable to you. Don't like make yourself have pain because of it. But just, it's a kind of a discomfort that usually putting the pressure on actually kind of feels good. So you're going to hold that spot for about a minute. And then you're going to change and do the other foot. And you're going to do it for about a minute. And then you're going to come and bring your hand kind of like in a kind of a C shape. And then you're going to bring that up and around and kind of underneath your armpit. Now, your thumb is going to land like right underneath this shoulder bone right here. And that is a lung point. And underneath, it's going to land right around where your middle finger is, like these fingers. I do all three just because then I know I'm hitting the heart point that I'm looking for. And so I'll hold those 2 points. And then I do the same thing with the other one. I tend to do them at the same time because there's something about doing these at the same time that the energy crosses over, which is really good for you in other ways. But you can do it separate if you want to. But I tended, when I first started doing this one, I tended to just felt like this really strong urge to like do it at the same time because that energy needed to cross over and kind of like work together. So for me, I cross it over. You're going to just kind of close your eyes if you need to, but you're wanting to kind of focus inward, focus towards your chest or heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. A couple minutes. Just do that for about a minute. If it feels good to do it longer, but about a minute. So you're looking at a minimum of 3 minutes. It's a nice self-care thing, especially if you're having a challenge of working through a lot of grief or discouragement or disappointment or overwhelm or a lot of these things that happen like through here. So let me explain what's happening. So the way I've seen this in the energy aspect of it is the energy comes in through that foot point. That foot point is known as kidney 1. It's also known as gushing springs, the wellspring of life. This is where energy comes into the meridian system, and that point goes into the meridian for the kidney meridian, and the kidney meridian sends it to all the other meridians, which feeds like the organs and all these systems, right? And so it's where the energy comes in at. So if you're finding you're tired a lot, that's just a good one to do anyways. There have been some very miraculous stories about people who were literally on death's bed, and this was the thing that helped to bring them back because it helped give them more life force energy. It brought back that energy into their system. So it's bringing the energy in. But here's the interesting thing is when you bring the energy in, the energy that's already here that's become stagnant or stale or like there's a lot of ways that you could explain it. It's just unique to whoever you are and how it feels to you. That energy can get stirred up. And so you want to have a place for it to go. You're bringing in like this breath of fresh air. You're bringing in like this, you're bringing in the new, right? And so you want to be able to have an outlet for the other stuff to release from. And so when you're doing these points, and the interesting thing was I didn't know this at the time when I started doing this, but then I later learned it and it confirmed for me, oh, this is what I already knew. These points are release points in those meridians from what I've read. And so when the new energy comes in, you have a place for the old energy to help release. And that breathing and the intention and the calmness that you're able to do for just that couple of minutes helps move out that old energy to help you be able to recenter. It helps you to just reset in its own way. And maybe you'll want to do this several times a day. Maybe you'll be good doing it once in a great while. I mean, maybe you only need it once, for all I know. But the point is that this is a really good one, especially if you're having a lot of grief to deal with, and just go and practice with it and see what you think, and hopefully it does you some good.